Hey there, have you ever looked at, say, a bee buzzing around a flower, and then looked at a plain old rock on the ground, and just wondered, what's the big difference? I mean, one is alive and one isn't, but why? Well, today we're going to find out. We're going to crack the secret code of what makes something alive.
That's right. To solve this amazing puzzle, we're going to become science detectives. We'll be on the lookout for clues, piecing together this awesome mystery. So, grab your imaginary magnifying glass and let's get started.
Okay, so here's our very first case. We've got Tom here and his cool toy robot. Now, Tom's robot can hear his voice and even respond, so he's asking, why isn't my robot alive? And you know what? That is a fantastic question. It seems kind of alive, right? But it's missing some super important ingredients. Let's find out what they are.
All right, first up, we're going to investigate what living things need. This is our first big clue, everyone. See, all living things, and I mean all of them, need certain things just to, well, to stay alive. So what are they? Let's find out.
Okay, clue number one is water. Think about it. Your cat needs a drink from its bowl, right? And plants get all droopy if you don't water them. Every single living thing, and yeah, that includes you and me, absolutely needs water to survive.
And moving on to clue number two, it's food. Food gives us all the energy to run and jump and play and grow. Animals, like that little bird you see, have to go out and find their food. But get this, plants have this incredible superpower. They don't have mouths, so they just make their own food using sunlight. How cool is that?
All right, and our third big clue is air. We breathe it in and out all day without even thinking about it. A diver has to take a special tank of air underwater. And even fish, they get the air they need right out of the water using those cool things on their sides called gills. Yep, air is everywhere and it's totally essential for life.
Okay, let's put on our detective hats for a second. Think about a teddy bear. Does it need to eat breakfast or drink a glass of water? Does it need to breathe? No way. And that is a huge clue. Non-living things just don't need any of that stuff.
Okay, awesome job, detectives. We now know what living things need. So what's next? Well, now we get to explore their superpowers. These are the amazing things that living things can do.
So there are four main superpowers we're going to check out. Ready? They can move, they can grow, they can make more of themselves, which has a fancy name, reproduce, and they can respond to what's happening around them. Let's break those down.
Superpower number one, movement. Animals can move all by themselves, right? They run, they swim, they fly, usually to find some yummy food or to escape from something scary. Now, Tom's toy robot can move, sure, but it needs batteries, right? Living things, they have their own built-in power source. Okay, superpower number two is growth. I mean, living things don't just stay the same size their whole life, do they? A tiny little seed can grow into a huge tree. And look at this, a teeny tiny tadpole can completely transform into a big hopping frog. Wow.
And this third superpower, it might just be the most amazing of all. It's called reproduction. And really, that's just a big word for having babies. Some animals, like turtles, lay eggs, and others, like elephants, have live babies. This is the superpower that makes sure there are always new animals and plants in the world.
And our last superpower for today is that living things respond. That just means they react to what's going on around them. Look at these plants. See how they're leaning and growing towards the sunlight from the window? Or if you gently touch a millipede, what does it do? It curls up into a tight little ball to protect itself. That's what responding is all about.
You guys are amazing detectives. We've totally cracked the first part of the code. So, let's review. A living thing needs air, water, and food. And it has the superpowers to move, grow, have babies, and respond. Now that we have these clues, let's go meet the huge, incredible family of life.
So there are so many living things, right? To keep everything organized, scientists put them into big groups, kind of like families. They call them kingdoms. For today, we're going to learn about four main ones: animals, plants, fungi, yep, like mushrooms, and super tiny things called bacteria.
So why do we even need groups? Well, let's do a quick comparison. Take plants and fungi. Sometimes they can look a little similar, right? But here's the big difference, the really important part. Plants make their own food. Fungi, they get their food from other things, like an old rotting log. So, see, they have a completely different way of living.
Okay, for the rest of our time, let's zoom in on one of the biggest and, let's be honest, most exciting families, the animal kingdom. It's time for an animal parade. We're going to meet some of the cool groups that belong to this awesome family.
First up in our parade, let's hear it for the fish. These guys live their entire lives in the water. They're covered in shiny, protective scales, and they have those special gills we talked about that let them breathe right there, underwater. How cool is that?
And marching right behind them, here come the insects. Now, if you ever want to know if something's an insect, here's a secret tip. Count the legs. If there are 6, it's an insect. They also have this hard outer shell, which is kind of like their own personal suit of armor. It keeps them safe.
Now look up. Soaring into our parade, it's the birds. So what makes a bird? Well, it's all about the feathers. They've also got wings to fly, of course, and a beak that's perfect for grabbing food. From the tiniest hummingbird to a giant eagle, they all have feathers, wings, and a beak.
And last but not least in our parade is the group that we're a part of. Can you guess? It's the mammals. Mammals are animals that have hair or fur, and the moms feed their babies milk. So that means cats, dogs, elephants, monkeys, and, yep, you too. We're all mammals.
So there you have it. Mystery solved. The secret code of life is really all about needing those 3 things: food, water, and air, and having those 4 incredible superpowers: to move, to grow, to have babies, and to respond. From the tiniest little ant to the biggest blue whale, every living thing shares this code. The world is just packed with amazing creatures, so keep your science detective eyes wide open. What cool living thing are you going to discover next?